Egypt loves to be silent, but sometimes it screams. That winter of 1907, the earth in the Valley of the Kings made a sound like a breaking bone. A worker's shovel struck a wall that wasn't supposed to be there. Arthur Weigel froze. He had seen this symbol before, but only in forbidden books. The symbol of the sun that gives life not to gods, but to one single pharaoh, the heretic Pharaoh. Weigel had not found a tomb. He had found a door, and the local workers refused to enter because they knew. Beneath the sands, it was not gold that slept. It was memory, and the memory of Egypt does not forgive those who wake it. To understand the legend of the lost city, we must speak of the man who went mad, or as he himself believed, who saw the light, Pharaoh Amenhotep I, 1353 BC. Imagine, Egypt is a pantheon of hundreds of gods. Anubis, Osiris, Isis. Priests rule the country through the fear of death. And then he arrives. He declares, there is no Anubis, there is no Osiris, there is only the sun. Aten. He changes his name to Akhenaten, beneficial to Aten. Builds a new capital in the middle of the desert, where no one had ever lived. He calls it Akhenaten, Horizon of Aten. And he orders the names of the old gods erased from every temple. Imagine the power of that rebellion. But the legend we seek speaks of another city, of one that lies not in stone, but in shadow. When Akhenaten died, Egypt took its revenge. His city was razed to the ground. His names were chiseled out. His mummy was most likely burned. The history books called him the enemy. But among the people, a legend was born, not of Akhenaten, which was destroyed, but of Atum-Khi. Atum is the god of the evening, the setting sun. Khi, light. They say that before his death, Akhenaten understood. His cause would die. The priests of Amun would never forgive the heresy. And so the finest priests of Aten, the blinded by light, took what was most precious. Not gold, not the throne. They took knowledge. The legend says, on the night of a total eclipse, they walked into the desert. There, in a place where shadow crosses the line of life, they built the city of shadow, Atum-Khi, a city where the sun never shines directly, yet its walls glow of their own accord. Let's return to Weigel in 1907. He found a strange cache, not mummies, but astronomical instruments, and an inscription, "He who departed beyond the horizon built a house where there is no shadow save the shadow of Atum." Weigel was no treasure hunter, he was a scholar. He sketched the coordinates, but 3 days later, his expedition was shut down. The local authorities said, "This is not yours." Historians say, funds ran out. But there is something else. In 1928, an amateur archaeologist named John Pendlebury found strange clay tablets in the same area. They bore no Egyptian hieroglyphs, only lines, geometric patterns. He wrote in his diary, "It looks like a blueprint, the blueprint of a perpetual motion machine." A year later, Pendlebury hanged himself in a hotel in Cairo. Skeptics will say, a legend, fairy tales for tourists, but satellite images from recent years show anomalies. Beneath the sands, there are structures that are not natural. Rectangles, lines. Radar detects voids where, according to maps, nothing exists. Of course, they could simply be old burial sites, or they could be the walls of Atum-Khi. Akhenaten dreamed of breaking death. He said that the light of Aten was not faith, it was physics, that if one knew the formula of light, one could live forever. The priests of the old order burned his body, but could they burn his ideas? The legend of Atum-Khi is not a legend of gold. It is a legend of knowledge that proved too dangerous for its time. Tourists come to Egypt to see the pyramids. Everyone looks for greatness in size, but the true magic of Egypt lies in the opposite. Egypt is a giant archive, and some shelves in this archive are locked. Locked not with a key, but with a curse, or with a conscience. We will never find Atum-Khi if we look for it with bulldozers. Perhaps it is already beneath our feet. Or perhaps it is inside everyone who watches the sunset and feels there, beyond the horizon, is something greater than emptiness.